Hello, and welcome back to another story time. Today we're going to read 10 Things I Can Do to Help My World, and it's by Melanie Walsh. Okay, when you think of the word world, what's the first thing you think about? Did you say Earth? So maybe the planet Earth? Okay, that's right. So we have what we would say, the greater part of our world, that's Earth, but do we live on the whole Earth, or do we live on a little piece of the Earth? Yeah, so we live in a little part of the Earth. The Earth is huge. Our world is huge, right? But we also have our own small world, which is our city, our countries, and then on the bigger part is the world, our planet. So this book is going to talk about how we can take care of our world, or things that we can do, things that you can do daily to care for your world. What are some things do you think we can do to care for our world? Let's think about it for a second. What do we use every day? What are some things we use every day? When you wash your hands, take a shower, or brush your teeth, what do we use? We use water, right? Okay. Is there something we can do with the water that might also help our world? How about with trash? Do we take all of our trash and put it all in one bag or all in one bin? Or do we separate our trash based on the material? Yeah, maybe we could separate the trash based on the material. And then what do we call that? Recycling, right? Okay. So let's see what other things we can do to help our world, and let's see if the book mentions these two things. Okay, are you ready to read? All right, here we go. I remember. So here we see, can you tell what that is? What is that? It's a light bulb, right? So it's a light hanging from the ceiling, and it's a light bulb. To switch off the light when I leave the room. So the light was on, now the light is off, and it's dark. Turning off lights saves valuable energy, and low energy bulbs use much less electricity. So do you turn off the light when you leave the room? I try. So what do we have here? What is that? It's the sink, right? Bathroom sink. And what is turned on? The water. To turn off the tap when I brush my teeth. Every time you do this, you save 18 glasses of water. So this means when we brush our teeth, while you're brushing your teeth for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, make sure you turn the water off, right? So when you put the toothpaste on your toothbrush, and then you put a little water on the toothbrush, and then you start to brush, don't leave the water on. So turn off the tap while you're brushing your teeth, and you can save water. I always, and then the blue, you see the blue bin? It says litter, so that's the trash bin. Put my litter in the bin. Tidying away litter keeps the world safe and clean. Yes, so we take our trash and we put it in the bin, right? We don't want it to be out and about because it doesn't make things nice and clean. And also, it can make a bad smell. And we don't want the bad smell, right? I shall feed the birds in the winter. So, here hanging from the tree is the bird feeder. And we're feeding them birds. Feeding them helps them get ready for nesting in the spring. So how are we helping birds by feeding them in the winter time? So here, what do you see on the ground? Snow, right? So maybe, do you think it's easy or difficult for birds to find food during the winter time? Yeah, it might be difficult for them to find food. So by feeding the birds, it might make it a little easier for them to get food. And then this can help them to get ready for springtime when they have to make their nests. And that is often when we hear the bird babies. So up to this point, they've told us 3 ways that we can help our world. The first one was, do you remember? Turn off the lights when we leave the room. The second one was turn off the water while we brush our teeth. And the third one, we can feed the birds in the wintertime. So let's see what number 4 is. I use both sides of the paper. If everybody did this, it would greatly reduce the number of trees we use to make paper. So paper, most paper comes from trees. So if we use more of the paper we already have, and we use both sides, and we use it carefully, then we can also use less trees. Because we have to cut down the tree to make the paper. I remind my mommy to turn off the TV at the wall. Electrical appliances still use energy when they are on standby. So standby means it uses a small amount of energy, and this small amount of energy helps to maintain the memory often in that electronic device. And that way, so when you turn it on, it can start up immediately. I enjoy making toys from old boxes. We can reuse lots of things before we throw them away. So here we see this robot made of various pieces of box, right? Of cardboard and other paper. So that meant instead of buying new art material or new paper, we can use the old things we have to make toys and also art crafts. Here we see a car. I like to walk to school. Avoiding car journeys saves fuel and means there is less air pollution. it is also good exercise. So do you walk to school or take a bus? So if we have to take a car, it's better to take a bus or the train because more people can go on. And each car has its own engine and makes pollution, but if we have one car with one engine and we can put 10 people inside, then that's better than 10 cars, right? I can plant seeds and help them grow. Plants help to keep the air clean and healthy. So maybe you've planted seeds before in school or with your family. So it can be a small plant or a big plant, but you can plant a seed. And when you plant that small plant, even though it might start off in a small cup, you can put it outside in your home garden or school garden and it can grow bigger. I help to sort the recycling. So we mentioned before we started reading about sorting our trash, right? And here it's sorted in 5 different ways. We have cans, glass, compost. Compost is food waste, but food waste can be different in different parts of the world. Paper and plastic. So when we help to separate these things, the reason why it's better to separate is because it's easier for recycling. If we put it all together, then we couldn't recycle it, meaning we cannot reuse it. So when we separate it, it's easier for the people who will take it and make it into something new again to use. Over half our rubbish can be recycled. So rubbish is another word for trash. It takes much less energy to recycle something than to make a new one. So that last sentence is really important because when we make things, when we make cans, when we make plastic, when we make glass, especially glass, a lot of energy is used to make these things. But in several cases, if we can reuse something that's already made, then when we make that into something new, less energy is needed to make it. I love my world. So there we are. There are 10 things that you and I can do to help our world. And there are, of course, many other things. So with your classmates and with your family and with your friends, talk about the different things that you guys currently do and additional things that you can do to help your world. All right, I hope you enjoyed this week's story time, and until next time, bye-bye.